drink. Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Clint Zoka, and welcome to Question Time 3. It's been a while since I did this, so if you know the rules, then good. If you don't, then I'll just quickly tell you. These are a series of videos that I'm doing, just answering questions. And it could be as many questions as you like, whether it's favourite colour or an interesting fact or just anything you want to know about me. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. Let's go with Josh Productions 07. And he has written, what is the worst knockoff movie? A Card's Life, Sparky's Big Adventure. That is a rip-off, obviously, of Pixar's Cars. That one is so shameless and so boringly bad that at least Cars was more entertaining and more, nostalgic. I remember seeing this when I was young, and nowadays I really don't like it. I mean, yeah, there's the video Brinquido, the little cars, but they're just bad in how stupid and basic that is. But A Car's Life, Sparky's Big Adventures, so much worse. How old are you? Dude, really? When you're commenting on other people's videos, do you just ask for their age? I can't tell you, that's personal, but that's also just a bit strange. Because you don't ask your subscribers, uh, well, you don't ask anybody their age, especially ladies. You don't do that. Unless they're okay with giving their age out to others. I have told a few people, but these are people I trust. But, sorry mate, my lips are sealed. Opinions of Horrid Henry moving to Nicktoons. Is it moving to Nicktoons? I've lost interest in the show like 2 years ago. Actually, no, for a very long time. Actually, no, I'm all right with it. Is this the UK? Is this the United States? Because CITV has the rights for Horrid Henry. I don't know, I think that's okay. I think that's fine. What show did you watch when you were a kid that was not Horrid Henry? Is this all going to be Horrid Henry related questions? One of the other shows I watched, and this is one that many people will know, is Thomas the Tank Engine. I've watched quite a lot of it, but mainly the ones that I actually enjoyed was the first two series that had Ringo Starr as the narrator. I watched Postman Pat, Bob the Builder, Fireman Sam, a lot of these really classic British cartoons, and I even watched a bit of Tugs too. Tugs was great. I watched The Treacle People. That was quite fun. I'm trying to think what else. I watched quite a bit of CBBC. CBBC, CBeebies, CITV, you name it. I did watch a bit of Cartoon Network back in the day when I had cable, but mainly it was just British television shows like Thomas, Postman Pat, Bob the Builder, Fireman Sam, Treacle People, mainly CBBC and CBeebies shows. Hope that answers your question. And then the last one from him is, how did you get into Michael Rosen? I think it's because of the YTPs, but coincidentally, it's actually his book, We're Going on a Bear Hunt, that actually got me into liking his work. If you mean YTP standards, then it's one called, sorry, if you hear some noises in the background, it's just my brother. Ignore it. I think it's one about 9/11 jokes, and that's the first one that made me inspired me to make YTPs, but his work is what got me into, doing my own stuff. And you're saying, how did I get into it? But I think it's mainly because of his performances, of course. Like Hot Food, Chocolate Cake, Car Trip, Washing Up, all that. That is pretty much the main reason. Decent questions here. That's pretty good. We've got one from Daphne Cortez. Oh, good old Daphne. Good friend of mine. What is the most saddest film you have ever seen? It can be any film. Do you mean as in like films that made me feel something that's not comedy? That made me feel sad and then, laughing my head off? Or do you mean ones that made me cry? The first film that ever made me cry was technically Marley and Me, but the one that actually made me cry throughout the film is Inside Out. And I still love that movie. Saddest film? There's actually one I watched a few months ago, but then I rewatched it, I think, yesterday. It's called Such a Beautiful Day, and it's directed and created by Don Hertzfeldt, and it's about this man whose life is, he's really struggling through life, and he doesn't know his purpose. When I first watched that, people were praising the hell out of it, like it's one of the best animated films ever made. I kind of understood it when I first watched it, but then second time, after reading what people were thinking about it and what's the deeper meaning of it, the film is really sad, and most of Hertzfeldt's work it has a deeper meaning to it. So I think It's Such a Beautiful Day is one of the saddest films I've ever seen. Metaphorically. Oh, no. Okay, whoops, that's the wrong question. Wrong person that has questions. Which country outside the UK do you think makes the scariest PSA PIFs? I'm going to have to say the United States. I don't remember any particular PSAs from there, but I know there was like a couple that were, scary. Obviously, the UK PIFs are scarier, but some of the US ones, like, I think ones about like dead animals and abuse are quite scary. I don't remember their names, so don't ask. I'm just thinking from the top of my head. Let's see now. Was there a time that Michael Rosen has ever disappointed you? No, not really. I mean, the only time I was a little bit let down by is that he hasn't made another damn live stream video. Although, yet again, he could be busy with family and holiday, but I do hope he does come. And also, I also hope he comes back to my local area, which I will not say for personal reasons, but I do hope he comes back to my area so I can go and meet him in person and another live stream video so I can send him another great email. That's not disappointment, that's just a bit of a letdown, really. If you were to choose between It Chapter 2 and Joker, which one would it be? Easily Joker. I liked It Chapter 2, but it wasn't as great as It Chapter 1. But Joker was probably one of the biggest, most talked about films of this year. I love Joker. It's just thought-provoking, haunting, and Joaquin Phoenix is just excellent in the film. So easily Joker. Now we've got Ben Hunt, who has sent me 13 questions. Oh my god, that's quite a lot. We still have a few from a few people, and I even have one from Wheatley, who didn't even comment on the actual video, but I will, give him a pass. He did actually comment his questions on the day of the deadline, but you know what, I'll let it slide, and I'll read that last on the deadline video. So what does Ben Hunt have to say? Out of Pixar and DreamWorks, do you have a favourite out of them, or do you like them equally? I like Pixar the most because, well, I mean, there's obvious reasons. They're just revolutionary and just great at what they make. DreamWorks I like, but about 50% of their films I either think are just okay or terrible, and then you got the other half that I thought were really good. like the How to Train Your Dragon series, the first two Shreks, Kung Fu Panda. But the Madagascar series is pretty good. Abominable was grey, and I like Captain Underpants and Rise of the Guardians, and even the Croods. So I like both of them, but I prefer Pixar the most. Pixar I love, DreamWorks I really like. If you were given um, DVDs of Smallfoot and Abominable, but you only had time to watch one, which one would it be? Smallfoot. I know there's many people that love Abominable and Smallfoot, but I prefer Smallfoot as this quite energetic and funny cartoon animated film. I would probably watch that more times than Abominable, but Abominable I would watch also, but I just like Smallfoot better, and I'd probably watch that a lot more than that. When you did your thoughts on Toy Story 4, you said for us not to watch Men in Black International. Despite us not seeing it, do you think it's a bad film? Well, I haven't seen it, so I can't say. I heard it's not a good film at all, and from the trailers, it looks shit. It looks like a very generic June blockbuster summer film that's just trying to cash in on the Men in Black franchise, which is something I really despise. But since I don't care about Men in Black, I don't care at all. So yeah, it looks bad, but I haven't seen it, so I can't say any more. Given your oh, okay, right. Given your thoughts on the first Trolls film, do you expect Trolls 2 World Tour? I think it's just called Trolls World Tour, but whatever. To be meh. Well, I will be doing my thoughts on the first Trolls when Trolls World Tour comes out, but I'm expecting World Tour just to be like the first Trolls, only either slightly worse or maybe a improvement. I don't know. I'm not. I'm not. I'm I can't even speak because of this damn thing. Excuse me. I am very doubtful over it because DreamWorks seems to cash in on these very profitable animated films. And Trolls seems to be one of the most profitable and most successful films, which I don't understand why. Oh, wait, to sell toys, and this film looks like it's going to sell toys also. Why can't it just be like How to Train Your Dragon, you know? But yeah, I think it's just going to be like the first Trolls, but maybe worse. I don't know. Is Freebirds your least favourite animated film of 2013? I think so, because I didn't see Escape from Planet Earth. But yeah, Freebirds I don't really like. It's a very generic, boring animated film. At least Real Effects made The Book of Life a year later, which is way better than Freebirds. But yes, again, they did animate Ugly Dolls, which is, I guess, slightly better than Freebirds, but that's not saying much. Alright, let's have a look. I had to clear my throat there. I had a frog stuck in there. Yeah. Your rating for the Planes film isn't very high. Do you think it's a rip-off to Cars? Is that why you're not keen on it? Okay, we've got another Cars-related question. Yes, it's because it's a rip-off of Cars, even though they're both by the same company, but Pixar didn't actually work on Planes, thank goodness. John Lasseter, I think, was just a producer for it. No, it's not just because it's a rip-off, it's because it's just boring, repeated, and dull. I mean, the animation's okay, but that's about it. Planes Fire and Rescue, however, was a tad improvement, to say the least. Do you understand why people really don't like The Rise of Skywalker and given its very low scores? Yeah, I can kind of understand why people didn't like it. I personally thought it was fine. I didn't like it or hate it, I just thought it was just okay. I understand, I really do. Just like Last Jedi. Although critics really liked that film a lot, which I don't understand why, but okay. Out of Cat and the Queen's Corgi, which one do you think which one do you think looks worse? Cats. at least Queen's Corgi animation wise looks okay. Yeah, it looks dull, generic, and boring looking, but at least it looks semi pleasant. I could see a bit of effort in the character animation, especially of the Queen and Prince Charles. It looks amusing, at least. Cats has no redemption at all. Even though I haven't seen it yet, I've heard a lot of backlash for it. I mean, come on, anything's better than freaking Cats. Well, that is debatable, but you know what I mean. Okay, what's your favourite fairground you've been to? Um, do you mean internationally, like Alton Towers, Chessington, Fort Park? Or do you mean just a fairground, like a small fairground? I'm assuming he means just fairground areas, like big, well known ones, like Disneyland, Fort Park. I'm probably going to have to say Disneyland Paris. But then I also like Drayton Manor. I liked Gulliver's Travels. I like Fort Park. Fort Park was amazing, but Disneyland is probably my favourite. Um, do you know? This makes me laugh every time I read it. Do you know an advert that you put on YouTube about the lady saying, "Are you going to bingo?" If you were at the bus stop, and the lady asked you it, would you say to her simpleton? It's funny because I use the word simpleton a lot. When someone tries to do something that's funny, I say simpleton, and they do it in a very basic and unfunny way. No, I just tell her to shut the fuck up and sit down, or put my earphones in properly, if that actually happened. Out of McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, do you have a favourite? No, I like all of them equally. I think I probably like McDonald's the most, but Burger King is quite nice, and so is KFC, so can't really pick. Who discovered the Crazy Scotsman? Was it you or Callum? I don't. That question doesn't seem very. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Do you mean which one discovered it first? Or the one that inspired you to quote the Crazy Scotsman? I think it was both of us, really, because I found him like a few months ago, and I think Callum might have. Callum's just a friend that me and Ben Hunt know, so if you're just curious, I think it was. I think it was both of us, but I don't know. I don't even know how long Crazy Scotsman's been on for, and I don't know how long Callum knew or followed him for. But yeah, I guess I'll say just both of us. Have you said simpleton to Tasha when you've both seen when you both when you both been out somewhere and I'm not there, or do you only say it when I'm with you? No, I do say it when she is just with me, but not as much as it is with you. It's more fun when you're around, pretty much. Okay, 13 questions from Ben. Excellent. If I make another one of these, which I probably will, put in a lot more because I'm quite curious. Alright, so this is from Blade Spy, another good friend of mine. Shout out, okay. I'm about to give a shout out to Blade Spy. There you go. You still a Pyro main? Yeah, I always have been. I haven't played Team Fortress 2 in a very long time, but I'm always a Pyro main. Always. Alright, from Lewis Harbert, another good friend of mine, of course. Do you have a favourite James Bond film? It's just Skyfall. I haven't seen that many. I've seen Spectre, which was fine. But I am really looking forward to talking about it in better detail when No Time to Die comes out. And I'm looking forward to that also. But Skyfall is my favourite James Bond film. Okay, Cold Hunter, good friend. What was your first memory when you met me? I've always... Okay, none of you will get this besides him, probably. But your voice changed. Like, when I first met him, his voice sounded quite young. And then when I met him again, like, just within a few months of, I think, 2014, not sure, his voice changed, and it's weird. Most of my friends' voice has changed which is fine. I remember just going through this map, like going through, no clip, and I remember you being there with me. How long have I knew you for? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 6 years? Something like that. Okay, now we've got one more question. This is in the deadline video. Hopefully, if it loads. There we go. This is from Wheatley. There is one from Joshua Corino, but we don't talk about that person ever. And that's the end of that. Right then, let's see. Hope it's not too late, but here are my questions. No, you're just in time, even though I didn't say what time the deadline is. It's just the day. Favorite film of the 2010s. Do I really have to pick one? Oh god, that's hard. Animated film, I'll probably say Inside Out. Film in general, I will probably say, probably Birdman or Ex Machina, something like that. Least favourite film of the 2010s, Pudsey the Dog the movie is my least favourite, and Queen's Corgi has to be my least favourite animated film. Favourite film characters? This is quite tough. In animation, I like Violet from The Incredibles. Who do I like? There's so many characters to pick from. I liked Forky in Toy Story 4. He was quite funny. I like Chloe from Secret Life of Pets movies. I like Shrek, of course. I like Toothless. Toothless is really adorable. In general, in live action, I like the Joker in the recent Joker film. I like Regan Thompson from Birdman. I liked Eva, not Eva. Ava is Ava from Ex Machina. I like Spider-Man in the cinematic universe. I like Tom Holland. That's about it. I mean, I know there's more to pick and choose, but I don't want to be here for too long, And I think that's about it. There is another one from one person, but we don't talk about that person, like I said. So there we go. Question time 3. That was quite a bit of... There were quite a bit of questions that I enjoyed, and I loved answering them. There was only one that I couldn't answer for personal reasons, but... Yeah, good questions. Really good questions. Interesting ones, at least. So remember... if you have any more for the next question time, just put them here. Do not put them in any other video, otherwise I will not include them. And that's why I gave Wheatley a bit of a warning, alright? Put your question in this video, otherwise it's not going in the video, alright? Because it's easier for me to actually read all of them in one area and then just separate areas, because it makes it more difficult. But please try and do that, alright? And please ask more questions. Ask as many questions as you like. I don't care how long the video is, I will answer all of them, as long as they're not like personal, like the how old are you, which is, you don't ask like that. No, that's not, it's not it's not a good way to ask someone their age. You shouldn't really ask their age unless you know them well, but come on, yeah. So thank you guys for watching this question time. Please leave more questions in the comments below. Alright, I would love to answer more questions. And Happy New Year. Have a very, very Happy New Year also. And I will see you in the new decade. I would say the new year, but it's also the new decade. Yay. Yeah. And that's it. That's probably the last video from... Oh no, wait, I've got the worst to best films of 2019. Look out for that. That will be out probably at the weekend, or maybe before then. I don't know. But, yeah. So, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. And until next time, bye for now.